time to suit up, all you mentees, and talk about two brand new Marvel Omnis coming out in the fourth quarter of 2023. So let's go ahead and get started. This video is sponsored by Marvel Comics, so thank you so much to David Gabriel and the fine folks at Marvel for sending us advance notice of both of these books coming out in the fourth quarter of 2023. So, before going any further, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. Share the video, keep away from the comments so you can be surprised as to what these two books are. And what these two books are, it brings me a lot of joy to get to announce, because I keep getting asked, will there be any more of these type of stories collected in omnibus format? Is this an area that Marvel wants to complete in omnibus format? And my goodness, it's looking more and more like you all are speaking, because they keep coming out with more and more of these particular omnis. So, both of these books are from a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And of course, I'm talking about Star Wars. The very first one I get to announce is Star Wars Legends, The Rebellion Omnibus Volume 2. That's right, Volume 1 I just started reading, actually. It comes out early this year, but now we get a Volume 2 later this year in the fourth quarter. So let's take a look at the standard edition cover first. So the standard edition cover here is supplied by Tommy Lee Edwards, who was the cover artist on a lot of the books that we're going to be talking about during this particular announcement. So speaking of this particular announcement, let's go ahead and talk about the content. So in here, you're going to find Star Wars Rivers of Chaos, the 4-issue miniseries, Star Wars Empire 28 through 40, Star Wars Rebellion 1 through 16, Star Wars Boba Fett Overkill, and Boba Fett the half issue, The Splinter of the Mind's Eye 1 through 4, and then material from Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Rebellion number 0 and Star Wars Tales 3, 15, 17, and 21. So if you're keeping tabs, this stuff has been collected before in epic format. So Marvel has released these particular stories in epic format. I believe the fifth one just came out, Volume 5. So this is, I think, Volumes 3 and 4 of the epic collection. So before we talk about the creative team behind this, let's take a look at the direct market cover. Not sure why I always point over there. It's going to be right here first. Let's look at the direct market cover. And this direct market cover is supplied by Joe Corney. And I have to say, that is an awesome image of just Vader standing there with the TIE fighters behind him. That is a very menacing image. I love that picture. So yes, the stuff in here, you're going to find the works of June Brigman, Adriana Mello, John Corney, like I mentioned, and let's see, Ron Mars is going to be writing some of these stories. You have Scott Alley supplying some of the work in here, Michael Lacombe and Colin Wilson and Thomas Andrews and Dustin Weaver, just to name a few of the creators of this particular series here. And I'm just glad that they're going to go ahead and give us a Volume 2. So hopefully we see this series wrapped up in omnibus format. And I just started reading it, so it makes me happy that I get to continue reading it later on this year, because I did miss out on some of those epic collections. Now, the next book. I mentioned that both of these books are from a galaxy far, far away a long time ago. Did I do that right? Yeah, I did it right the first time. So yes, of course, it's another Star Wars book. I would not give a hint like that and it be another type of book, but it is a Star Wars book. But what Star Wars books? Because there are so many people that have ideas as to what there would be. And I will say, as the guy that gets to read all the comments, this is probably the it's tied for number one as to what people want in omnibus format. But it is another Legends book, so it is my pleasure to get to announce Star Wars Legends Tales of the Jedi Omnibus. This one is a biggie. So let's take a look at the standard edition cover first. So this cover here is supplied by Dave Dorman, who is no stranger to doing Star Wars covers. He did a lot of the covers in the New Republic book that I was reading. And apparently he did a lot of the covers in this particular era too. So I said this is a biggie because it is a big book. Let's take a look at the content together. Here we have Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi Force Storm 1 through 5, Dawn of the Jedi Prisoner of Bogan 1 through 5, Dawn of the Jedi Force War 1 through 5, Dawn of the Jedi number 0, Tales of the Jedi The Golden Age of the Sith 0 through 5, Tales of the Jedi The Fall of the Sith Empire 5-issue miniseries, and Star Wars Tales of the Jedi 1 through 5, Tales of the Jedi The Freedom Nod Uprising 2-issue miniseries, and Star Wars Tales of the Jedi Dark Lords of the Sith 6-issue miniseries. You also get Tales of the Jedi Sith War 6-issue miniseries, the Redemption 5-issue miniseries, again, Tales of the Jedi, and then material from Star Wars Tales 23 and Dark Horse Comics 7 through 9. That is a big Star Wars book, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because I have not read. I'm very excited about this one because so many of you have been asking for this one. Let me know if that's everything, though. Like, is that everything as far as the Tales of the Jedi? Because I know that they did epic collections of these, and I think the third one comes out in the summer, but that is a big Star Wars book, and that makes me really happy. So yes, let's take a look at the direct market cover. So here is another piece by Dave Dorman. Again, no stranger to Star Wars covers, and that is a beautiful, both of these are beautiful. I like the standard and the direct market. Sometimes that's the hardest choice to make. Now, the only thing I know about this particular era is that this takes place years before the movies, like Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back or A New Hope. I'm not sure why I even went backwards, but I know it takes place like not just 100 years, like 25,000 years before, and it is the formation and the beginning of the Jedi. And I am so excited to get to read these stories, and I know that there are huge fans of the epics and the way those were mapped out, so I'm really happy that it looks like this is the same kind of mapping that they were using for that. In here, you're going to have the work of people like Jan Duursema, who I love her artwork, John Ostrander and Tom Veidt, Kevin Anderson, Chris Gossett, Dario Carrasco, and also Hugh Fleming and David Roach, just to name a few of the creators behind this. This is a book I'm very excited for. I've just been enjoying a lot of this era of Star Wars, and I know that there's a lot more Star Wars to collect too. Not just from the Legends, but also the modern era. Like, we need a follow-up to the Jason Aaron Omnibus with the Greg Pak stuff, and a lot of the miniseries could be compiled into one book, and even the classic Star Wars could see a reprint. It's been a few years since it's been out of print, but I would love to know what you all think of these books, what you think of the content and the covers, and of course what other Star Wars omnis you would love to see Marvel bring out. So I'm so happy I got to announce both of these books. Don't forget to pre-order the books as soon as they're available for pre-order. Leave your questions down below, comments down below, and that's it, everybody. May the Force be with you, and make mine Marvel. That's all I got.